Hi, and welcome to the third lesson in using CampaignsHD. In this video, I will show you how to build out your own campaign slides. I recommend that you check out our first two videos on how to upload media in Media HD, as well as how to create a template background in the Template HD video. If you already have media assets as well as a template available to you, you can go ahead and get started creating a campaign. I've logged into my Command Center account and I'm simply going to click on the CampaignsHD button. Here it's going to bring me into my list of campaigns. If this is the first time that you're accessing your account, you might not see any campaigns, and that's okay. In your list, the default view will just show you your campaigns that you've uploaded. You can change this filter and toggle by different views to see shared campaigns. To create a new campaign, simply click the Add Campaign button. Here I'm going to give the campaign a name, and then choose my template from the drop-down. The templates that are available to you will be dictated by which format that you've selected, as well as what templates are shared with you. In this case, I've already created 3 templates, and I will use my example one. Again, this format is going to match how my digital screens or endpoints are mounted. Next, I can choose Advanced Settings. Here you can set a slide limit for the number of slides that can be added, or determine what the default slide duration will be. The automatic default is 30 seconds. I'm going to leave these blank and simply click Save Campaign and Edit Slides to go right into the slide editor. If you just hit Save Campaign, it will take you back out into the list. But if I want to jump into the campaign that I've just created, I can click that Manage icon to see the slides. Now this is a new campaign, so I'll be greeted by this screen. And I can click this large Add New Slide button to add it into the left-hand panel. Whenever I add slides, they will show up in this left-hand panel. I can add additional ones, and I will not be limited as I did not specify a slide limit. To make changes to a campaign, simply click on the campaign name. By default, it will say Empty Slide. What you will see pulled in on the right-hand side is the template background. Here I'm going to zoom out so you can see that entire background itself. There may be a design grid overlay, and there's a small little jail cell looking button that you can click to remove or add that design grid. First, I'm going to give my campaign slides a name. In this left-hand panel, I will click on my Edit Slides button. The reason I'm giving my slides names is so that I can save them. Without a name, Command Center will not allow you to save a slide. First, I'll call this Welcome. This I may put in a video, and maybe I just want text in here. I can save all of these slides at once just by clicking the Save All Slides button. If I would like to activate all of these slides, I can do that as well. Simply click where it says Inactive to activate them. These same options are available on individual slides in their slide setting button. Here you can change the name, as well as activate or deactivate the slide. You can also set the duration for how long you'd like that slide to appear on the screen. Active slides, when a campaign is scheduled to one of your players' channels, are the ones that are going to show up on your screen. So remember, if your campaign is scheduled to play back, the active slides are the ones that will show up. Inactive slides will remain a part of the campaign. You can save them and make changes, but until you activate and save them, they will not display. This is a completely new campaign that I've created, so I've not scheduled it. Even though they are active slides, it's not going to play back on any screens just yet because I still need to schedule them to a channel. I'll go ahead and activate them and save them so they're active and ready to go. Next, I want to add in media elements that I've already uploaded in the first step. I'll go down and click the Media button below. This will pop up all of your available media assets, images, remote images, flash, as well as video. The filter may be set to My Media, so if you don't see any at first, you can change your filter to All to see what's shared with you. If I want to add an image file, I simply grab the name and drag it out onto my slide. Depending on the player types that you're using, by default you may be limited to only 2 images, remote images, flash animation, as well as 1 video per slide. That restriction is simply a hardware requirement. Once I've dragged out a media element onto my slide, there are several ways that I can resize it. One way is I can simply grab the bottom right hand corner and drag and drop it out. It will keep its proportions. If I want to distort those proportions, I just hit the Shift key and then move my mouse. I can also double click any of my media assets, including videos, image files, and set their particular X and Y offset as well as the width and height in pixels. The X refers to the distance in pixels from the left-hand side of the slide to the left-hand side of the image. The Y from the top of the slide to the top of the image. And the width and height is the actual pixel width and height of this image asset. There's a little box here where you can make an item full screen. If you make it full screen, it will take up the entire template background, so you will not see it. But this is a great option if you want to have full screen video, or you do have an image file you would like to display as full screen. Here I'm going to resize this image asset to fit into part of my slide. Once I have sized this, I can now add a text box. I'll go down to the bottom and hit the text option and select to add a text box. You can add up to 10 of these. These are simple text editors, so do not copy and paste from something like a Word document. Instead, type your message in. Once it generates that text box in the top left-hand corner, I can double click it and start making changes. And I'll change my font color here so we can see it. Welcome to Industry Weapon. And maybe even put a message like, please lock your computers. Now before I click apply, I can make changes to the text itself. All of the changes that you select in this text editor will apply to all of the text that you've added in the box. I can pick my font from the drop down, as well as the font characteristics, the size, as well as how it's justified in this box, and the color. You can put in an HTML color code here if you want to choose a color different than the ones provided. Before I click apply, I must grab the bottom right hand of that text box and drag it out so that I can see all of the text within it. The reason for this is in order for the text box to be generated properly, you will want to drag out the box so it's large enough and not cutting off any part of the text. Once I click apply, I can then see those options applied to the text itself. If I would like to remove or change the layers for media or text assets on my slide, you can do so in what's called the layers option. Here I'll drag out an additional image asset. Once I go into layers, I can pick what's going to be on the top or bottom layers within here. Here you can see this image file will go above or below depending on how I lock down the layers here. To remove image assets from a slide, media assets, and even text boxes, you can click these small red X's to take them out. That way, they won't be in the slide itself. But to remove any media assets, you must use the layers option to remove them from the slides. Once you've made the changes that you've wanted to, you must save the slide before being able to see a preview. In the left-hand panel here, if I zoom in, you'll see a small eyeball icon. Once you click on this, it will generate a preview of that slide from the latest save, so you can see what it's going to look like before you push it out onto your screens. If you would like to make a copy of an existing slide, you can click the Duplicate Slide option immediately to the left of the Save button. This will make an inactive copy of your slide, but you can make any changes you want to it, and it will still keep all of the same elements. You could even move slides from one campaign into another. Remember, if you do move a slide from one campaign to another, it will only take the media and text elements that you've added to the top of it. It will take on the new template background that's a part of the campaign you moved it to. It will also disappear from the campaign you moved it from. And to move slides, simply go to the left-hand panel, click Edit Slides, and under the name, click the Move this slide to another campaign. So I've made a copy of this particular slide, and that's what we recommend that you do, is make a copy before moving it, so that you still have it in the original campaign. Once I pick what campaign I want it to move to, I can then hit Save Slide and it will disappear from my list. Once you have made the changes to your campaign or created a few slides, the next step will be scheduling your campaign to your player's channel. Check out our 4th video on scheduling campaigns in Channels HD. If you have any questions or want to find out more, you can email us at support@industryweapon.com or give us a call at 877-344-8450.